Welcome to our video about explaining how to create your final project in Snap. We're going to start from a blank account here, and we're going to build up your program. So the first thing we're going to do, again, our goal is to create a little platform game to play around. We have a little sprite here. We're going to make this sprite a little hero character. We're going to add some levels. We're going to have a goal, put some enemies in here. We'll do this over the course of the next few videos. This first video is going to be showing you how to create your hero sprite and have them move around and change their costumes. So the first thing you need to do is find some sprites. Now I recommend this website here, Game Art 2D Free Assets. These are great characters you can use, really easy. We're going to use the little boy character here. I've downloaded that. What you're looking for is you want to make sure that your sprites are individual sprites, not a sprite sheet. And there's lots of websites you can go to find lots of different sprites. Here, for example, we talked about this one. Lots of websites you can go to find lots of sprites. And do a Google search, quick Google search for a bunch of sprites. You can find all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of scenery, but you want to make sure, again, everything is individual sprites. And so this website gives you all that really nicely laid out. It also has some tile sets for you can use. So we'll be doing some of this later. So I downloaded the boy here. We're going to use those sprites right here. Those sprites to create a little character. Now there's a lot of little animations here, so we have some dead animation where he's like falling down we can use later on. We have some idling where they're just standing, jumping, all these different individual pictures we can use for running and walking. So I want to first import all of my running pictures. So I'm going to grab all the running pictures and drag them into the costumes of my sprite. Drag them in, load up all the running costumes. So here's my little character now. I can go through all these different images and step by step they're going to be running. It's a little bit big, so I want to shrink this down. I'm going to go to the Looks tab. I'm going to change my size, set the size to, what, 50%? Let's go with 30%. That's pretty good. It's a nice little size for my character. So I got my sprite, I got my running costumes in. What I want to do to start this game, we're going to put a flag, and the flag is going to broadcast the signal for a new game. That's the only thing this flag is going to do. When the flag is clicked, it broadcasts this new game signal. For the new game signal, we're going to say when we receive that new game signal, what we want to do is put the forever loop here, and this forever loop is going to run our entire program. Our program is going to live inside this forever loop, constantly checking to see what we're doing in the game. This is how we run the game. And the first thing I want to do is I want to have my character move back and forth, move left and right. So I'm going to put in my motion, and this is from the labs that we did 3.1 and 3.2, where we were able to move around and change the costume of the character. So I want two ifs, one for moving left, one for moving right. I go to the sensing tab and I say, well, if my right arrow is pressed, I want to move to the right. If my left arrow is pressed, I want to move to the left. And so I want to make it so right arrow points in the direction of 90, moves 5 spaces. If I move to the left, I point in the direction of negative 90 and move 5 spaces that way. So this is going to make my sprite move around. Oh, it's flipping upside down. If it's flipping upside down, I want to make sure it stays straight. That's this middle button here. So now I can go left and right. That's pretty good. I want to be able to change the costume, though, as I move. So under my looks category, I'm going to say every time I move, I want to switch to the next costume, left to right. Now it looks like I'm running. Running left, running right. So that's how my action happens there. Running to the left, running to the right. It's a little bit, motion's a little bit funny. it's flipping, moving when it flips like that. It's not really what I want, but that'll be fine. So moving left, moving right. Now the second thing I want is to put a little animation where my character is standing still. So I need to go to the costumes again. I need to go to my other animations. Let's go to the idle animation. And I want to import all these idle animations to make it so when my character is standing still, it looks like it's, looks like it's breathing. He's just sort of sitting there. So here we go, my idle animation. So I want to start my idle animation when it's not moving. But I need to know where this costume is. So I'm going to check the little costume number right here. And it's going to tell me the costume number for my idle animation is costume number 16. So I want to switch to costume 16 and cycle through those costumes when I'm not doing anything else. When I'm not moving left or not moving right, I want to cycle through those costumes. So we're going to put another if. We're going to put it up here. And I want to say if I am not moving. Well, not is in the green section here. I want to say I'm not touching either the right arrow or the left arrow. If I'm not doing anything. So I'm going to say not touching right arrow and not touching left arrow. As long as I'm not doing those things, I want to be in the idle screen, and I'm going to change my costume. So I want to switch to a particular costume. Well, I want to use the right costumes, right? I want to pick the right costume. So I want to make sure I switch to the idle costume, but I want to cycle through them as well. This is going to constantly switch to idle. I want to make sure it switches to the right costumes. So I'm going to need another if here that checks to see what costume I'm in right now. And if I'm not in the right costume, to switch to the idle costume. The idle costume I said was costume number 16. So if my costume number is less than 16, if it's outside the range of costume numbers I want for my idle costume. My idle is 16, 17, 18, all these ones up to number 19, 29, up to number 29, up to number 30. So if I'm outside that range from 16 to 30, I want to switch to the right costume. So I'm going to say if my costume number, this is how I switch to the right costume set. If my costume number is less than, if my costume number is less than 16, or could be greater than 30, costume number is less than 16, or my costume number is greater than 30, I want to switch to my idle costume. Otherwise, I want to go to the next costume. So let's run this, and now there's my little character breathing, and I can move left and right. Oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, I see. I got to go and. If I'm not pressing that, if I'm not pressing the right arrow, or oh, I know what's happening. This is fine. It's my running costumes that are now out of sync. So now, when I try to run, it's going to switch to the other costumes. See, it's switching to the other costumes for the running. So I want to make sure my running costumes are also only limited to the right setting. So I need to do the same thing. I need to check to see what costume number my running costume is in and switch it to the right section. So again, if the running costume, it runs from number 1, costume number 1, to costume number 15. So if I'm less than, well, it's not really less than 1. I would say if my costume number is more than 15, if my costume number is more than 15, I want to switch back to my running costume. I don't want to put myself in the idle costume. I want to go loop back around to the first run costume. Same thing here. I want to check same if I am more than 15, switch to my running costume. And there we are. Now we're able to run back and forth, moving around. So that's the first stage. Getting your costumes in there, your running, your idling costume, having your character look like they're breathing and walking around. And again, you can use any of these. These costumes are great, or any other sprites you find. But this is how we get our first stage, getting our character to move around and look like they're a character. Next, what we're going to do is get our character to jump and put some ground in our level and our background to make our character in the world. All right? So look for that next. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching.